Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the 1999 film The Talented Mr. Ripley. Now, as you know, The Talented Mr. Ripley is a 1999 psychological thriller film that was directed by Anthony Minghella, which was also based on Christopher Highsmith's 1955 novel of the same name. And keep in mind, The Talented Mr. Ripley was the first set of novels from 1959 all the way to 1991, which was meant to follow the character Tom Ripley in a set of other novels up until Ripley Underwater. So the premise of the film is meant to follow Tom Ripley, who is kind of this deadbeat, kind of like lower class loser who mainly is approached by a shipping merchant, Herbert Greenleaf, who mainly believes that Tom Ripley is a friend of Dickie due to Tom wearing a sort of borrowed Princeton jacket. And we kind of see how he's tasked with going to Italy to sort of talk with Dickie. And at first you can tell Tom tries to get to know Dickie a bit more, and before the journey starts to kind of learn more about Dickie's life by studying jazz music, learning more about what he likes, what he doesn't like. And when we do kind of see how Tom goes into Dickie's world, it's kind of clear that Tom is amazed with Dickie's lifestyle. He starts to kind of enjoy it. He starts to kind of get roped into Dickie's world. And you can kind of tell Marge does want Dickie to be a bit more mature, but it's just kind of clear that Dickie is a spoiled, selfish, immature brat. And we kind of see how Tom still wants Dickie's life and does anything he can to be a part of it until he gets rid of Dickie. And this is where we see how Tom tries to live the life of Dickie. And this is where we kind of see how a lot of things start to build up, and where Tom has to kind of make sure no one finds out what he did to Dickie Greenleaf. And I think the film, in my opinion, definitely works, as there is a message and a cautionary tale about not being something you're not, being careful not to kind of hide behind a mask to feel important. And I think the point of Tom Ripley is that you can tell he's a guy who wants to go further the distance, but it's kind of clear that Tom has no concern for anyone but himself. And you can kind of tell, even before going into Dickie's life, Tom was never really going to get anywhere. And it's kind of clear that he knows how to con people to get what he wants. He knows how to kind of get people to be amazed by him. And this does remind me a bit of Lila from Miraculous Ladybug, as she tells all these tall tales to sound important. She makes people believe she's done all these amazing things, even though she's not, and is able to con people to get what she wanted. And I think that's what Thomas Astrup was going for, showing how there's people like Lila who will use things to get what they want, will make people sound like they've done all these important things when they really haven't. And I think for the most part, I would say Matt Damon really plays this kind of outcast, kind of deadbeat loser. And I think when you do kind of have Dickie even before getting murdered, you can kind of tell, he was kind of roped in with really bad and if not selfish people, as it's kind of clear that, Freddy's kind of implied to be a bit of a drunk and kind of encourages Dickie's lifestyle. And you can kind of tell Dickie's father does get annoyed with Dickie's immature, selfish, and kind of arrogant behaviour. And it's also kind of clear that his father is annoyed with his selfish, sort of arrogant, and kind of wasteful lifestyle. And you can kind of tell his dad probably did want him to be a bit more mature, but it was never going to work. I think the difference between Dickie and Tom was, I think Tom knows who he is, but hides behind a mask for people to see him as someone else. Well, Dickie just doesn't really want to admit any of his mistakes, and acts like everyone should love him, even though they clearly don't. And I think the film really does work as a bit of a cautionary tale. The difference between Tom and Dickie is, I think Tom Ripley just wants people to be amazed by him and knows how to use it to his advantage. While Dickie is shown to be the spoiled, arrogant, selfish, and negligent man-child who has no concern for anyone but himself. And I think, yeah, the film still holds up after 1999. So I think this film definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.